Welcome to Game Changers, Voices of the Industry, the podcast where we explore the people, ideas, and ecosystems shaping the future of gaming one story at a time. Today's episode dives into mobile gaming, not just as a platform, but as a global ecosystem powered by players, creators, developers, publishers, and the communities that connect them all. My guest today is someone who's been at the center of that ecosystem, building one of the world's most recognized mobile gaming platforms, Gaming on Phone, which brings together news, insights, conferences, awards, and conversations from across the global gaming mobile industry. Tousif, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Rucha. Thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be a part of this Game Changer Season 1. So I'm really glad to be here and share the story with the audience.
Awesome. Tausif, let's start at the beginning. I wanted to ask you first, what is it that pulled you into the world of mobile gaming? Like, was it any specific player or a creator, or more like, for you as an observer of how the industry was evolving? How did that happen?
So to be honest, I myself am a gamer. So when I was a kid, I used to play games on, if you remember Nokia black and white phones, like I
Yeah.
used to play Snake and Bounce on those games, and it slowly started. I kept playing games while I was studying and all those stuff, and but after I completed my studies, I wanted to get into the industry. So it was just I found my way, like I following my passion, and even while I was doing my full-time job after a campus placement, so I finally made this big leap. I mean, it's not really easy for someone in India, like a middle class family. So it's a big challenge there, but here we are anyway.
Awesome. Was there any particular moment where you realized that mobile gaming, that deserved like more deeper and more global conversations than it was getting at that point of time?
So honestly speaking, I have seen like lots of PC console talks happening around. I mean, if you search anything on web, you will see a lot of PC console websites or like platforms coming around. But how much for mobile do we have really? So that's a big gap I noticed. And then I just thought like, why not me? Because I have been like as a gamer, I am so much into that. I have my love and heart for just for this. Like I have been playing for a long. So this was just a kind of an experiment. I said, let's just do it. And because of the passion and the hard work me and my team had put in, so it just went beyond my expectation, to be very frank here.
Got it. Awesome. And for the listeners who are, watching us right now
Hmm.
and discovering this for the first time, tell us in your own words, what is gaming on phone, and what is it that you originally set out to build?
So for me, gaming on phone is like a place, one place where the mobile gamers can get to know what's happening around. So right now we have like both the sides for the consumers, like as the gamers that they anything they would like to know, and also for the professionals who would like to understand the business sides of things, because for mobile gamers sometimes it's very hard for them to keep a tab on everything, because generally what happens, they follow a particular one game or two or three maybe a genre. But if they really want to know like the overall what game is coming, what's new, who is doing what, which beta and upcoming, all those game stuff, so they can get to know that. And on the B2B side, so it's primarily because professionals are generally very busy, they don't really have much time, but of course they need to get on updated with latest happenings in the industry, be it technologies, be it the other companies, because they are competitors. So what other companies are doing and all those stuff, so it's kind of a one place for everyone. And that's just not the content part. Other than that, we are trying to do the conferences. I mean, we have done it already, and we already have this our global awards. So it's just one ecosystem for the whole mobile industry. That's our main goal, and we would like to keep building on that.
Very nice. Okay. And in your early days, was it like, you had some any big challenges that you faced while you were trying to build credibility? Because it's a very fast moving and competitive industry, right? So what
Yes.
is the kind of challenges that you were probably facing?
So for the initial days, the biggest challenge was particularly on the tech side. I mean, I'm coming to the brand authority part later on,
Mm.
but it's primarily for someone who is not from a tech background. It becomes a big challenge. How do you build it really? I mean, even if it's WordPress or anything, you have a lot of tools around,
Mm.
but even if you are not that much of a techie guy or someone, so it's kind of a challenge. You got to learn everything as you go. So that's what we have been doing. I mean, for me, it was a big challenge in the initial days because when we started building, like 20 people coming, server was getting crashed. So how do we solve that? I mean, my time was getting into talking to the server support all that day. Should I concentrate on the server support team, or should I concentrate on the content, or what should I do? Or even I was having my college, I mean, I was in MBA back then.
Right.
So all those things, but slowly things started moving out. Later we found out really good tech guy who was handling. I mean, he's still with us. I think it should be more than 5 years now.
Okay.
But on the branding side, I would say with time you get to understand a lot of things. I mean, and its branding is primarily driven by the connections you have in the industry.
Mm.
So we were in touch with lot of games developers, publishers, and slowly we were started to get the scoops and all those stuff. And it slowly the continuity and all those things really matters in the long run. I mean, if you are really consistent and doing the good work, people will slowly understand you, and that's how we build a brand. I mean, you are really genuine and honest to your audience,
Mm.
and I mean, audience will slowly understand that, hey, we can trust this brand or guy or like the
Platform.
website. Yeah.
Right. Got it.
Yes.
Mobile gaming as an industry, it's still underestimated in certain circles,
Mm.
right? Especially when you compare it to PC or console
Yes.
gaming. Why do you think that perception still exists?
It's really, I mean, it is very tricky. I mean, why does this perception, you really can't change that, to be very honest. I mean, it's just in the people's mind that mobile gamers are they really true gamers. I
Mm.
mean, this is a very popular saying that goes around. Mobile gamers are not real gamers. Like, mobile games are cheap crash grabs.
Mm.
Mobile games are trash. So these are the very common phrases you would come across any community, be it Discord, be it Reddit, be it Facebook, and I just find it very funny now
Yeah.
because it's primarily drives more than 50% of the industry. But at the same time, there are also downsides that mobile game industry may not look careful and they may overlook. The
Mm.
percentage of good games coming out is very low
Mm.
if you compare it to, like, it's really less than 5%, I would say.
Mm.
So there are many crash grabs, and like people just don't put enough creativity and also I think it's kind of a both the sides of a coin. You can't really
Got it.
say anything and you can't really change it. So it completely depends on people's perspectives.
Understood. Yeah. According to you,
Yeah.
what is like, why is it that mobile gaming is, like you mentioned, it's 50% of or more, maybe more also. What is that
Yeah.
that is,
55 to be
yeah,
exact. Yeah.
yeah. So what is it that is driving the growth of mobile gaming today?
So it's primarily the reach. I would say the number of users
Mm.
is much bigger than PC consoles.
Yes.
So even though the average revenue per user is much lesser if you compare to PC console, but
Mm.
because of the high reach,
Mm.
so it's what drives the revenue. And I mean, because people spend time, and when you start spending time on something, you become, say, let's just spend money on this game, something like that.
Mm.
So I mean, it's much easier that way. And of course there are some ad driven models that mobile game developers use. For example, primarily rewarded ads. For example, if you just watch this ad for 5 seconds, you get x amount of in game item. So that really helps. I mean, sometimes the user doesn't really pay directly,
Mm.
but they help by watching ads. I mean, because those type of revenue is a part of big portion for the whole mobile games revenue. So I think that also accounts a major portion. Yeah.
Understood. Okay. And considering the last 5 years, what is it that,
Hmm.
has sort of stood out for you the most in terms of what has shifted? Like it could be monetization or player behavior or game design. Like what have you seen growing over the last 5 years?
So I think for the last 5 years, it's actually the game dev has changed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you just let's just go back 5 more years. So if you just like it's 2025, if you just look at games from 2015,
Mm.
so the games were very different back then. And of course, the systems were also very weak. Phones would not be able to handle the games we are playing right now. So mobile games are as good as console right now. I mean, except a few here and there things.
Yeah.
But in the last 5 years, the technology has evolved a lot, and with technology evolvement, so lot of mobile games have been like coming as console quality. And in the last 5 and years, so we are also seeing the trends for more cross-platform games. Like games are coming simultaneously for mobile, PC, console. So
Mm.
when that happens, that actually means that PC console developers are taking mobile more seriously. So of course, I mean, this trend will continue to evolve. I mean, and when more and more PC console games will come, so we'll see more variety. I mean, although it depends a lot on the region we are talking about, because the games that actually runs well in India may not do well in the US,
Yeah.
and it's just vice versa, and it's applicable for the rest of the world as well. So
Mm.
with the things and region, I mean, if a mobile games company wants to look at like trends to take a something out of that whole area, so
Mm.
they need to actually look at the trends particularly to that region. So those regional level analysis is very important.
Okay. And which regions do you think are, kind of shaping the future of mobile gaming right now? And why do you think those markets are
So
gaining importance?
yeah, for mobile, it's has to be Asia. I mean, there's no second question. I mean, although US drives the major chunk, I mean, it's a big part of the mobile games revenue. But in terms of user reach and the true love for mobile games, it has to be Asia.
Mhm.
And if you look at the innovations happening, it is no doubt China. I mean,
Mm.
because all the big companies, it's there. I mean, Tencent, look at NetEase, look at Hoyoverse, look at Lilith. So all the big names are, I mean, even look at the major mobile game companies, you will see majority of are from the China,
Mm.
except a few like Supercell or like Rovio. There are a very few companies who are not from China. Majority of them are China. So I think Asia drives the major growth and innovation for mobile games. Yes.
Got it. Yeah. When coming to now gaming media, right, sort of plays a huge role in shaping opinions and narratives. So, how do you personally balance these like hypes versus like honest critique? Especially when the audiences are so sort of emotionally invested in games.
Yeah, so emotions make things biased sometimes. I could see that in the industry, I mean, particularly in the community, because I watch very closely. I mean, I follow closely Reddit, I follow Discord, I follow Facebook groups, I follow X.
Mm.
So I could see like sometimes a hype really builds up something when the actual product is nothing.
Mm.
So I remember like seeing the hype for Apex Legends. I mean, it was all over the X, Reddit, Facebook, everywhere, and even it was kind of always trending on Twitter.
Yeah.
And after it came, it got shut down within a year. Same thing repeated with Warzone Mobile. So it was so much hyped. It was the hot talk of everywhere, and
Mm.
it could not deliver.
Yeah.
So, but we as a media, we just watch things from outside. Like we keep our emotions aside and look at things from a very honest and genuine perspective, because we have to, because we are a media. Everybody looks at us, be it the developers, be it the community. So we always put what's true. I mean, if it sometimes it may not be sounding right. I mean, right to someone in particular. Like if you just talk talk like a genuine critic about some games, the developer may not like it, but
Right.
it is what it is. I mean, we can't really help.
Right.
So those type of things medias has to go through. I mean, sometimes somebody like you can't really please everybody, so it's a very basic thing. So I mean, it's part of your day to day life. I mean, it's part of us, so it's fun also.
Like you mentioned, developers may or may not like. Is there specific, like, in
Yes.
terms of responsibilities, do platforms like gaming on phone have any responsibility
Hmm.
towards developers, publishers, and players? Like, how would you
Yes.
sort of, segregate it for these three segments?
Yeah, so for us, we don't really generally bash outrightly to any company or community. So we present it in a very nice way, if we really have to. So, for example, this Age of Empires mobile is getting a PC version right now.
Mm.
So this is kind of very shocking and ironic for me personally, because my time has, because when I was a kid I played a lot of time just playing the game on PC, and like I have a lot of memories. Like I have over close to 1,000 hours in Age of Empires series in total.
Mm.
And when Age of Empires mobile was coming, I was so hyped, but then realized it is not really the actual Age of Empires. It is just a clone of Rise of Kingdoms with the Age of Empires skin.
Right.
So I was kind of disappointed, to be honest, but that was fine, no
Mm.
problem.
Mm.
Because maybe I'm not the right fit audience for that game anymore, but that is cool. But recently, like just after 1 year of the launch, so the game is now. I'm just giving you this example to make you understand the
Right.
whole scenario. So now the game is coming to PC. Now this is really
Mm.
like how ironic is that a PC uh, PC console, sorry, not even console, it is a PC IP. So that was ported, not ported, that was adapted to mobile, and then the mobile version is getting adapted to PC again. I mean, really? I mean, this is how you do. I mean, this is purely a business move. There's no emotions related to it anymore.
Got
So
it.
it's completely a business move. It's because even in 2025, so I was looking at Tencent's most money making games for this year, where like where Honor of Kings had over a billion, PUBG Mobile also had over a billion, and also on that list, I saw that Age of Empires Mobile had over 50 billion of revenue in 2025, and 50 billion is not a joke.
Mm.
So it's clearly visible why these games are being ported, and when this happens, I mean, it only hurts the true fan base.
Mm.
So for us as a platform, I think we need to genuinely discuss this issue.
Mm.
I mean, not to criticize the developer, but to talk like does this move really justifies the fan base or the IP
Mm.
or things like that. So these type of things, we as a platform, I think we are like putting those things into the picture of everyone, because average gamer may just overlook that. Average industry person, I mean, for any busy industry person who are like working on their own projects, they may not know this or may just overlook this, but when things like this we put it in front of everyone, so they can get a chance to think over it, that maybe this is the truth, they are actually saying the right thing. So we don't really criticize everyone directly, but we put the things that, hey, maybe you should have thought about that.
Mm.
Maybe you could just check this out to see if you are doing the right thing or not. So I think it's applicable for both the community or for the developers. But generally speaking, this type of things don't really applicable for the community, because community is really diverse, and
Yeah.
doesn't really care about anything. So they just care about the games that they play.
Right.
So it's as simple.
Yeah. Makes sense. Like, because so many games and stories are, upcoming every day and sort of
Yeah.
competing for attention. So how do you decide which ones, deserve that kind of global visibility and what you should publish on your platform?
So I think for that it depends on, like we look at a lot of things, like it's the historical, is it IP driven or not, it's back track records, it is completely new, or which developer publisher it is coming from. So will the community be able to relate to that or not? So, and if there's any ongoing thing going on with that, because sometimes a lot of backlash community drama happens over anything. So a lot of factors we need to check before we like pick a story that hey, we should do that.
Mm.
So that's the basic thing. I mean, we do check the all the things that are available for that, and we, as a gamer, we use our instinct
Mm.
that maybe gamers should relate to that. So
True.
that's the part.
Yeah, sometimes it's just instinct as well. Like this story is going
Yes,
to, be heard and not
going to
be
work or not? Yes.
got it. And is there any kind of misconception about gaming journalism as a, generally speaking, or gaming media, that people outside the industry, often don't understand? Something that you'd like to call out?
Yes, I think there's plenty. So it's primarily it comes from the audiences, not from the professionals, because they are busy and they understand a
Mm.
professional life and a gamer life is kind of different. So gamers sometimes think that these guys like don't know what they're talking about.
Mm.
So and they try to and the gamers also try to understand that this is the consensus they are talking about, but they forget that it's just the opinion of that particular person writing that story. He may or may not like it. Sometimes it's happened. If he is writing about an opinion piece, then he is free to write about his opinion. He
Yeah.
doesn't have to be like matching with everybody else, right? So sometimes this type of things happen in the community. And also I think sometimes the journalist also make mistakes, and when that happens, they should openly admit that they made a mistake. So it is kind of both ways, but for a community I think the perspective should change a little bit about, because they are also doing their job. It's
Mm.
their work. I mean, it's how they make a living, and they probably would not be digging a hole on that same thing they are like
Right.
sitting on. So
And trying to understand more on the business side, right? So gaming on phone,
hmm,
it sort of operates across both consumer media also and B2B also, like B2B
yeah.
spaces. So why is it important
Hmm.
for those two worlds to sort of stay connected?
It's a very interesting question, I would say. So for us, when we started in 2019, so it was primarily very consumer focused.
Mm-hmm.
So when we got in touch with the developers, publisher over the years, we realized that this is just a one side of the coin we're covering. There is one more side, which is much more important. Even the audience is much smaller,
Mm-hmm.
but that side is very important for us to know to serve the other side better. So when we get to know the devs more closely, then we would understand, we would try to relate to how and what they are thinking. So when we will be able to understand, then we will be able to talk to the community even better. So that's one side.
Mm-hmm.
And another side, of course, because this is just one side of the industry, uh, why not we should build up our coverage for the other side of the industry. And for the importance, I think it's very important that we, as someone who is running the whole thing, we should be well aware of the complete scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it serves all the purpose in that way.
Got it. Got it. And did you see any gaps
Yeah.
in this industry? Like, especially when, because, something that led you to sort of launch conferences or say even the global awards, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, so there are plenty of, I would say, there are gaps. I mean, when you go to a conferences, even a games conferences, there are hardly anything that happens for mobile except Pocket Gamer does, I know.
yeah.
So they have their own thing. But there's a very thin line between PC, console, and mobile in a conferences or even on a trade show.
Mm,
So I mean, we as a mobile first and mobile only media outlet,
mm,
so I think we could do that, because I mean, in a conference, it's very hectic. It's kind of a very messy scene there. I mean, everybody is running around, nobody is having time, and everybody is running for their own business. I mean, and which is very natural and understandable. So for, I mean, because the mobile industry is kind of big in that sense, and they would like to talk to it, it's kind of a niche area we are trying to cover.
Mhm.
So why not we just give them the space? And for the awards part, so that was, I only talked about the conferences thing, and for the awards, I think there's a huge gap.
Mm.
So you see the game awards, you see the other like the golden joystick awards or any other awards, but what's really there for mobile? So like a mobile, like a true celebration of mobile gaming. So
Is
gaming
what?
on phone awards
Mm.
tries to be that. I
Understood.
mean, we had our physical ceremony in Bangkok this year, I mean in October end,
Mhm.
and it was amazing. So yeah, it will continue. I mean, we have 2026, and there's one more thing we are really doing next year, like really new for the industry. And please look forward to that. I'll not spill the thing right now, but we'll reveal that
Soon.
soon about that.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. Very interesting, actually. Also, Tausif,
Mm.
because this industry is sort of, largely digital first, right? Why do
Mm.
you think in-person events and real-world networking still matters? Like, do you think it matters, and why do you think it matters so much?
Yes, it matters a lot.
Hmm.
I mean, it took me kind of 3 years for me to realize that,
Hmm.
but it changes everything. I mean, when you are meeting people online, I mean, you talk to them, you have a call with them, you even have a video chat,
Hmm.
you email, you talk on WhatsApp or LinkedIn or anywhere. Those are all fine. I mean, those are fine. But the same person, when you just meet them face to face, it changes the whole dynamics of the relationship.
Yeah.
So I think, like, I personally have experienced the change myself, and deals are driven by face to face meetings.
Right.
I mean, you would see yourself the changes. I mean, anybody who is listening to this podcast right now, just go out there, meet people, meet the your potential business clients or anyone you want to talk about.
Hmm.
It will change the whole thing. I mean,
Hmm.
it is very important. That's all I can say. It is very important.
Right. Right. Like experience it to understand how it works.
Yes, yes.
And
Yes, because I told I expressed it myself,
yeah.
so it's big thing. Yes.
Right. And which kind of collaborations are the ones that you are most excited about? Is it talking to publishers or indie developers or platforms?
Yeah, for us, we talk to a lot of different type of companies on a day-to-day basis. I mean, my majority time of my day goes to just to send email or like answering other queries, be it on like the social platforms or on my email.
Mm.
So yeah, we do talk with a lot, but for me personally, because I am a gamer, like there's a gamer inside me. So for me, it's always the talking to the publishers more than the business side of things, because my colleague primarily handles that. But I am, because I am a gamer, and I can't live without gaming. So
Yeah.
that part in me is really excited to know about games, talk to publishers, and to know more about the whole industry.
Moving to a little bit of careers and opportunities in mobile gaming.
Hmm.
For
Hmm.
anyone who is listening to the podcast right now and wants to work in mobile gaming but is not in the
Yeah.
development side of things, so to say, where do you think they should realistically start?
So I think if you are not a developer, I mean, it is the exact question what I had in mind. Like I think 5, 6, 7 years back, 8 years back. So when I was like studying, so I had this question in me, like, how should I get into that? I'm not studying engineering. How should I get into that? Because in that time I thought like games has to be like a game development or something, but I don't have the skill.
Mm.
So also things were very different then and now, I would say, because after Geo came in India, particularly the way people started taking internet is very different.
Mm.
So now if you are not into the technical side of games, that is, I would say, like development, there are more ways you can do. For example, you can get into content creation. but of course the competition is like too much right now. And you understand all the limits and like pros and cons of content creation, and it may or may not land you to a games company. That's one part. Another thing is, of course, there is social media management side of games career you can, but that is also part of content creation in a way. Another thing is like community management roles. There are community management roles which who are not really into games, like developing games. They can start exploring, but generally speaking, companies don't really take fresher right away. So you have to have some kind of experience. Like it doesn't have to be with a company, but maybe you manage the community of, let's say, 5,000, 10,000 people. You build something from scratch. Those help. Those really help. So depending on your passion, companies, the HRs will understand. So I mean, and the main thing is you can't give up. You have to keep doing that. I mean, keep applying. So and don't even like generally what should the turnaround from HRs, like out of 100 application you may or may receive response in a like 5 to 10.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it's the harsh reality, but it is the truth. So careers is not really easy,
Right.
but it's not something that is not doable also. So
Do you
yeah.
think like an internship or it's an unpaid internship works well in terms of for people who really are passionate to get into the industry, but again they're not on the development side and just want to enter and then explore because they could get into testing or into like you said community.
Yeah. Yes, yes, of course. This is important. I mean, do it. I mean, do whatever you are getting for free. You just need the experience.
Right.
So, and if you are doing it for money, you will not be able to go far, to be very frank. You
Mm.
have to be really passionate here. I mean, just take it as a learning experience. You are trying to learn something. You are trying to get into a place where other people share the same love. They love the thing. So, that's a very good starting point. So the better place you start off, I mean, ultimately your passion, your persistence will take you to the right place. It's not the starting work you are doing. So I think this is very important.
Moving on to the future of sort of like next 5 years or next few years for mobile gaming, what
Hmm.
trends in mobile gaming do you believe that people aren't paying enough attention to yet?
I think that is the crossplay part. I mean, crossplay is going slowly getting more integrated into games, like mobile platform becoming as big as the others. I mean, of course, it is big in revenue, but in terms of what should I say, like more acceptability, it is not still not there. So I think with more crossplay integration, I think it will be more accessible and more well aware. It will make people aware of the mobile platform. That is one. Another thing, I think there will be more cross genre, like mixing up different genre and making a something new. So that is one more thing. Another major thing that will slowly take off is the alternate app store. I mean, Google Play or Apple App Store monopoly is will slowly start to dilute. With now we have Epic Game Store, but it is still not what it should be. And I understand it is not very easy, but it is epic at the end of the day. So but I think with more the ecosystem more getting open up, so and Epic Games taking a pivotal role in this whole scene, so I think this will change.
Is there a way to sort of break this monopoly? Because, like, publishers, I understand because, the percentage, etc., all of that, they can move to other options. But in terms of players and consumers, them shifting to another store.
I mean, yes, because for see, it's a kind of a loop here. So for consumers, they don't really prefer to change. I mean,
Yeah.
changing habit is a very big thing, you know. So for consumers, they are for Android, their simple go-to place is Google Play. For iOS, it is iOS App Store. So that's a big part why consumers don't want to change, because they are habituated with that. And for the dev, because the user is there, I mean, it is their go-to place. platform. So for them it's a big challenge, and even for the devs, it's putting it to another store means putting up their resources, particularly catering to that store. And if they don't see the ROI yet, so that becomes a challenge. Now why Epic Games is different? Because Epic Games is catering to the gamers only. So gamers, like even mobile gamers who are well aware of the PC console scene, they know Epic Games already.
Yeah.
So for them, they won't hesitate to try. Hey, let's just try Epic Games, and they are very famous for giving out free games, right? So that's a very big USP for them on PC console. But mobile maybe not so well, because it's free. You get to things for free here anyway. But because you have the brand awareness for that Epic, so I think if someone can change this whole thing, it has to be Epic Games. There's no other competitors who can like break into this space.
Unless the like offering is such that it just cannot be there on Play Store or App Store. Like you said, a few games that are only published on a particular Epic Games or any other store. Maybe that could sort of help.
Yeah, I think for mobile it can't happen like that. I mean, it has to be brand driven. I mean, for users, they don't care. They just go to that. I mean, you can't change the habit. I mean, you can, but it's a very long game.
Right, right.
So it is not what everybody like thinks App Store. I mean, alternate App Store can do very quickly. It's a very long term game.
Got it. Got it. And how do you see AI and live operations and the whole community-driven development, changing the way mobile games are being built or sustained?
I think AI is taking a big role. AI and Gen AI particularly, like
Yeah.
uh, a very recent example is that, I mean, for you remember like when you interact with an NPC inside a game,
Hmm.
so those had very limited type of conversation they would do. But now with AI and Gen AI implement, so it's really fun to talk with even NPCs. I mean, they can answer like you converse with ChatGPT for example. And even and even that, I mean, let's just move aside from the recreational stuff and more talk about more serious issues. uh, Recently this game from NetEase launched, Where Winds Meet. You may or may not have heard. It's very recent. So what happened, so you could like when you create a character, it's an open world RPG. So so when you create a character, so you could just upload your face, like a photo of your face, and that would automatically get implemented to your character. I mean, you had the facial thing, like you can change your eyes, your lips, your nose, and all those things. So just imagine you can just put your face inside a game, and then also you get the option to change.
Yeah.
So this thing what happened, so I think in somewhere in China or maybe Hong Kong, on around that area. So it was like doing a good stuff for the plastic surgeons. So what people are doing, they were uploading their face there, and they were tuning what they really want to do with their face. I
Right.
mean, maybe they have something on their face they don't want, or maybe they want to change. So just like a demo what their face would look like after the
Surgery.
plastic surgery. So they started doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just one thing that we really came across now, and maybe there will be more things that we will get to hear. I mean, these are really interesting stories
Right.
we would come across.
Right.
And for the development side, it's becoming already much easier for the developer. They would spend 100 hours to design something or build something. Now they can just do it within hours. So
Right. Right. And apart from that, like time, as you said, is one thing that developers may be able to create
mm,
games faster than what they are doing today. Is there any other success factor that you think after 5 years that would be for, say, mobile game publishers or developers?
I think because of this AI stuff, there will be more UGC content. People will be able to create, I mean, anyone without a tech background, they will be able to. I mean, recently YouTube also implemented their platform where you can just like you converse with ChatGPT, you talk and you get your answer. So it's similar that you can build games, something like that. Maybe those are may not be very high quality, but this is just a building block, right? And with time it will only improve.
Got it.
So the whole thing will change. I mean, AI is already cutting jobs like anything.
Yeah.
So it is just another way. I mean, they can also help you to have something.
What do you think, the role of emerging markets here will play in defining like the next era of mobile gaming?
So for emerging markets, I'm not sure like what AI will do, because for use of AI, it's the use is everywhere. I mean, even if it is a saturated market or an emerging market, it doesn't really matter, because it's completely new thing. Even in the saturated market, people will start using this AI thing, right? And they will start to find new ways to do things much faster. So I mean, it will impact every region, irrespective of if they are like an emerging or not emerging or saturated or whatever.
Mm.
So I think it is going to change everything. The way it will happen slowly, it's not going to happen overnight, but things will start to move much faster than before. I mean, we can already see that, but with the development of technologies and advancement of AI technology and other related tech, so we'll get to see things. Yes.
Got it. What we'll do is now we'll just take it a little more, towards the fun side. We'll have a small rapid fire round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I will
Hmm.
just ask you some quick questions, and you also, of course, have to answer without thinking. Like, whatever's the first thought that
Yes.
comes to mind. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
One mobile game that has impressed you recently, which one would that be?
Clash of Clans.
A mobile game
Yeah.
trend you're tired of hearing about.
Battle Royale.
Okay. Okay. Coffee or late night brainstorming sessions? Which out of the two?
Late night brainstorming sessions.
One country everyone should keep an eye on in mobile gaming.
China.
And if gaming on phone didn't exist, what would you be building instead?
This I really don't know what I would be doing. I would probably be working somewhere, probably. Yeah.
Okay, that was the rapid fire round, Tousif. It was very nice. Simple
Okay.
answers, but interesting answers. Moving on to just the last segment, a few more
Yeah.
questions. If
Hmm.
you could give one piece of advice to someone building a
Hmm.
platform or a startup in gaming today, what would that be?
So one thing is that don't give up yet. I mean, just do what you love building. I mean, just don't make it just because you want to make money.
Mm.
Don't go that way. Just do it for the passion, for the love of the thing you are doing. So, and start connecting with people who would able to relate to you. And you may or may not meet the right person instantly, but eventually you would land up in like good connections, who would genuinely be interested to know more, talk more, and like start getting involved with others as well. So that's a very important part. Networking will take you into a long way.
Mm.
And be genuinely curious and be genuinely honest about your thoughts, your company. So those are really, honesty is the main thing. I mean, honesty and consistency is a big uh, is a major part of a founder, that keep things floating. I would say it's very simple, but you just can't like, let's just try this and I will also try that. That doesn't work. I mean, you need to be honest to what you are doing.
Got it. Looking ahead, what impact do
Mm.
you hope that gaming on phone would have, on the global gaming ecosystem in the long run?
So for us, I mean, where we are standing right now and coming to the next 5 years, I would say that more and more people would be knowing gaming on 4.
Mm.
And as we expand our footprint with more events and physical space gatherings, so it will make like gaming on phone to take to a next level of recognition.
Mm.
And like it's just the awareness that we have to build. Like more people should, more companies should be able to see us on a bigger level and like experience the thing we are doing right now. I mean, because for us we did in Bangkok in October, so there were 200 people who attended our award show. So we would try to have more people in the coming editions, and there will be other and different type of things that people will really love.
Hmm.
So that would help them to understand us and let them know what we are actually trying to do with for the industry. So I think that would like help everyone, be it us, be it them, and even
Right.
the community.
Right.
So next 5 years, I think that's the main goal.
Amazing. Where can people follow your work and stay updated with everything that is happening on gaming on phone?
So for you, I mean, for anyone, for us, we cater to platform very differently. For any gamer who really wants to understand or like stay updated with the gaming side of the industry, they can just follow us on Twitter or X to get the updates. And for anyone who would like to understand the industry, like business side of things, then that would probably be your LinkedIn.
Okay.
So you can follow us there, and like you will get to see what we are up to. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Great. Tausif, thank you so much for joining us today. Your perspective, of course, on mobile gaming and media and overall community building, it's been very, very insightful. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me as a guest, Rucha. I appreciate that. Thank you.
To everyone listening, thank you again for tuning in to Game Changers, Voices of the Industry. If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to follow, share, and stay tuned for more conversations with the people shaping the future of gaming. Until next time, keep learning, keep building, and keep playing forward. Thank you.